Hello, it is Michael Linson of Smart Classroom Management, and this is the raw truth about difficult students. Before we get there, however, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below, even if you disagree. Conversation is good. And those kind of free flowing of ideas is really, really healthy. So, no problem that we disagree. I think we need to, as teachers, discuss these things, discuss the most challenging areas, and not just kind of sweep them under the rug or just go along because everyone else is going along. So it's okay to speak out and say what you really believe. So leave a comment. Okay, now on with the video. There are essentially three things I want to talk to you about, three areas of raw truth about difficult students. And this is based on all of our work here at Smart Classroom Management, which was founded in 2009. It's also based on my 30 years in the classroom working in the most challenging environments I could find, from grades kindergarten all the way up through high school. And these are the things that we know. That is the truth that you don't hear very often, very few, if any, other places than with us at Smart Classroom Management. The first one is that behavior contracts, restorative justice practices, and counseling does not work to change behavior. It does not work to change those difficult students from disruptive and bullying and disrupting your classroom and being disrespectful towards you to regular contributing members of your classroom. In fact, they make things worse. They make things harder for many reasons. The biggest of which is that they label students as being difficult. And those students fulfill that prophecy that you give them. Now, there's a lot on this particular topic. And by the way, these are more categories than they are specific strategies. They're categories under which certain strategies are used with difficult students, but none of it is effective. They can work momentarily. For example, if you put a student on a behavior contract and you tell them, if you stay out of trouble for the next 30 minutes, you'll get this reward. It does work in the moment, but that student pays for it in their toughness and ability to overcome difficult things in their life. They pay for it in that they believe it changes how they believe and what they think about themselves into that they're not good enough and that they can't behave like other students because you're not using that strategy with other students. It also, when you reward students for things that are intrinsically good and have their own intrinsic value, you're putting a price on that and you're making whatever you want them to do work. That from then on, they believe they need to be paid for in the future. And so you're telling them that behaving in class doesn't have intrinsic value, but it's work that you need to be paid for to do it. It's a terrible, terrible message. And again, it doesn't change their behavior in the long run. The rest of them are similar. And if you would like to read more about why that's so, we have hundreds and hundreds of articles at Smart Classroom Management. There's a difficult student category that you can check out. We're going to cover these in future videos for sure, but just know if you want to kind of look ahead and read ahead, you can do that at smartclassroommanagement.com. So that's the first truth, is that these and the other strategies that are just so common that you hear from administrators and counselors and behavior specialists and other teachers, they don't work in the long run. They may get you through a day or two, but it's just going to make things worse over time and bad for that student long term. The second thing, the second raw truth is that there are strategies that do work. And again, we're going to have a video on particular individual strategies that do work with difficult students, that don't hold them back, don't make them feel like they're different, that they don't label them, but instead what they do is that they trigger and they fuel their intrinsic motivational engine. And so we're going to talk about that in the future. But just know that there are strategies that work, that it isn't hopeless. And when I say work, I mean actually changes their behavior for the better. And they're proven to work, things that we've been doing here for, again, since our founding in 2009. Smart Classroom Management has been around that long, and we do work with really the most challenging students. So it can be done. But that leads us to the third raw truth about difficult students, and that is what I call the big caveat. So the big caveat is that not only don't these work, but the strategies that do work will not make any difference, don't work whatsoever unless this big caveat is taken care of. And the big caveat is the most effective thing you can do for difficult students and to pave the way for strategies that actually do work is that you must have expert whole class classroom management knowledge and skill. So if you don't already have excellent classroom management skills, there are too many distractions and too many things that are inconsistent for difficult students for these strategies to actually work. Because then what's happening is the challenging student is sitting there and they're getting all sorts of mixed messages. They're being encouraged by others to misbehave. Your inconsistency is also telling them one thing while you're saying a different thing. And so all sorts of confusing things are happening. And so the most effective thing you can do is that because of your excellent all-class classroom management skills, the rest of the students and their being good role models and following rules and learning and listening and all those things that you want because of your ability, those things rub off on challenging students. The rest of your class, the culture of your class has far more influence over that student's behavior and improvement than anything you can ever say or do. And so it's not your direct one-on-one with difficult students that's going to make the biggest difference. It's your relationship and classroom management ability between you and the entire class. If you're able to do that and just do that, you're so far ahead of anyone else, as any other teacher, as far as improving those difficult students, helping them really make improvements, real change in behavior. Not just improvement, not just the up and down, but a line from the bottom going up, just consistent improvement where they become a different person, a different student. Now, at that point, when you get to that point, that's when these can come into play. There are strategies that we can use to kind of perpetuate that, to stimulate that intrinsic motivational engine further. So we can enhance some things, but unless you take care of the big caveat that is excellent all-class classroom management, nothing's going to work. all hope is lost. And when you do have those things, you don't need any of this. And again, that's gonna work against you. These strategies are going to encourage that student to misbehave in your classroom. Again, there's a lot to this topic. I just wanted to let you know the raw truth, because from there, then you can make some smart choices about you and about your classroom and about what is most important. And that is, again, your knowledge of excellent classroom management and your skill in delivering that, which is exactly what we do at Smart Classroom Management. Again, for more information, check out our website. I hope that helps. I'll see you next time.